Oh no, it's a new sketchbook to try out, and you'll never guess what. It's by Canson Graduate. It's their watercolour sketchbook. Let's go. Oh boy, 56 pages. They reckon it opens flat. Well, their other one did not. And if you'd like to see my disgruntlements about the mixed media version of this, I'll link the video below. This is supposed to open 180 degrees. It's 250 GSM, which is £117. It is A5, so 14 by 21.6 centimetres, which is 5.5 by 8 by 5 inches. It has an elastic band, hard cover, printed on the back with Canson. It's again like a, don't know, very, very hard anyway. I just hope, I don't know if I've done a full review actually on my other one, but the actual cover came away from the binding on the mixed media one. Depends on my scheduling to when you get to see that. So you can put your name and your phone number at the top like with the others. The banner comes off. It's nice, you can keep it on, because like the other sketchbooks tend to be across this way, the Royal Talons ones. This way, you get to keep it on all the time. It's not in the way, so I like that. This first page does not, it's not like a full page, so you won't get to use that properly, all of it. Bit of a struggle to turn the page, and it bounces up because the paper is, you know, a lot of you will use clips, I don't, so it's an extra annoyance for me. I haven't had to use clips before, and let's see if we keep turning, does it get any easier? You can see it is stitched here, and they are sewn bound, I think. Now, this paper doesn't feel as rigid as the mixed media. It is, let's see, it's 250 GSM. I think all of the graduate range is about 250 because from what I can remember, the mixed media was too. Now, this one is lying a little better. Move it to one side. Using my art toolkit, I keep in my mini Sendak. This is my main, well, the only one I'm using actually. And I use my water brushes, the generic type, just basic from Amazon. I liked that they come in different sizes in the pack. Oh dear. Now, I've had a problem. Let's watch. I refilled my pans yesterday. And this is the art toolkit where it's magnetized. I like finding problems when I'm recording so I can share any solution. So the paint, when I close the lid, it was semi-dry, but obviously I might have overfilled, and it means that the lid has stuck to the pans. So I get a lid of a pen and I just push them in because I don't like getting dirty fingers. So if you've got a ballpoint pen, I take the lid off and just gently push them back in. Now, not going to be so easy with this, I suspect. I suspect most of the paint will have come out, which is aggravating. Plus, it's hard to tell. I have a feeling, though, this is my Payne's Grey. Well, neutral tint, actually, but I use it as a Payne's Grey. And then this one, let me think what that could possibly be. To roll my cardigan sleeves up, I can just feel we're going to get messy, which is a shame. It has left, though, a nice puddle of colour. Hopefully it won't all stick out. Right. Oh, that's a shame. It's dirtied my, what colour was that? Oh, my yellow ochre, my most favourite used colour. So you can see they're a little fiddly and annoying, the Art Toolkit palettes, when things like that happen. But they're quite easily remedied. So I always keep a cloth and my ballpoint pens to hand. To clean them up, it's going to be your water brush and patience. You can use a cloth or paper and keep, you know, tinting your paper if you do that. So that's what this video is going to be about now. I'm going to be changing what I do. We're going to be cleaning up the paint. So I'm going to take, you see, and that will help you see if the paper's any good. So the purple went into the yellow ochre, which is most aggravating. But we're cleaning it up. And it is just the surface. We're just lightly stroking the top to get that colour off. There we go. It's getting a little cleaner. Very good if you like to tone your pages. So, okay, I mean, that's acceptable. So then, just cleaning the brush off, and I'll get a larger brush, and we will mix all that. It is watercolour. It should be able to cope with lots of water. Because I imagine students are going to be learning to do the wet into wet techniques. I don't like using tape because, well, in France, where it's muggy, wet atmosphere, what any time of year it is, and the washi tape just comes straight up. And if I use masking tape, I've got to stick it on my clothes, then it picks up residue, got hairs, and then I stick it down, and it still pings up. And then it leaves marks of whatever it's picked up on the tape. So it just irritates. So, not too much curling. It is lifting and it is curling. I like to really test the paper. I think you're cheating when you tape it down and clip it, because you're not seeing the full quality of the paper when you do that. This you can use your regular tape with. That mixed media paper, you're going to need strong tape and strong clips, because any water made that really curl. And it's very solid paper. This is not solid and rigid. There's a bit more give in it. But you can see it's curling. As a nice, it's like making a hill. But as it dries, it will go flat, I assume. You can see also the pigment hasn't moved. You're left with marks it can't get rid of all of those marks. And I suspect it's not going to be good with Inktense. But we'll test that. Here's my tin of watercolour fun by Derwent. And in here is some Inktense. So I'm going to use the other side. Now the other side of the page, let's have a look, is not textured. So it's probably watercolour one side, write about it on the other like a journal. So because I don't do journaling, I'm still going to test it out because watercolour paper is watercolour paper. But it just means that maybe the less textured side will work better. I don't know. Or just putting down any kind of colour I like. I have nothing in mind. This could just be like intuitive art. I don't know. I often wonder why they included an orange in the pencil when we've got the red and the yellow in the stick. We could make our own orange. I'd have included a different Inktense pencil in the colour. That's just me. Squeeze in the water. More water. I have to say the Inktense did not work well on the mixed media one. It left a kind of powdery film, which was really weird. And I get the feeling this one's going to do the same, but not as bad. It's like it sat on the surface and didn't go in, but it still left marks that you couldn't move, like here. The marks here are not moving, however much water you put on it. And we've got this powder form coming. It's odd, almost like a pastel kind of thing, chalk. So when this has gone almost dry now, you can see the page has gone flat. So that's not too bad. And we will see if it's still damp. Don't want it dripping this. I like messing with things like this and just tinting the paper, because when it is dry you can have lots of fun drawing over the top. But you can really see that that's just not moving. The wet part is obviously, but this actual, where I drew with the lines, it's not going to go. Picking it up directly will work. See? You shouldn't get marks left behind. No, you don't. But when you draw directly, you will. That's going to take forever to dry. Really soaked that, as you can see from the curling. It's curled about quarter to half way, I would say. You can use this page as a guide, so it's quarter. I suspect it's going to go to half because I can see it moving more. We've got a right archway coming here. So, that's tested that. Now, let's try, this is the textured side, so let's try putting some down here. see what we get here. And we get the same. The marks are not going to move. So you have to keep that in mind when you're using watercolour pencils, because those marks are not going to go. As I say, students do deserve better. This is fine if you are not a student and you just want to play about and you're not learning anything, because I think that it's going to put a lot off, because the paper isn't going to do what you need it to do. When you do a wet into wet, you want the pigments to merge and flow. When you do pencil, the watercolour pencil, you need the pigment to dissolve. And as you can see here, you're going to like it if you like to leave marks. And your mixed media, you add texture, you're doing it deliberately. But if you're not doing it deliberately and you are a beginner who is being guided to buy student grade stuff, and this is student grade and it's affordable, then you will be disappointed. And I still stick to that opinion. But I can, because I've got more experience, work with it, but it's not one of my favourites. But I am using it to show you that should you be stuck with it, you can do something with it. It's going to take a while though. You're going to need a heat gun or a hairdryer to make it dry faster. I haven't got mine to hand at the moment because I hadn't actually planned on doing this. But because my paint palette did what it did, it's kind of changed what I was going to do. I put the Inktense away and carry on using this bit of paint that it was my sap green, that's it, that has leaked out of the pan. Might end up time-lapsing this, I'm not sure. Basically, we're just having fun. And we're seeing if we can wreck the paper. This, I think, is purple. Or, no, it's neutral tint. That's it. We haven't put any holes in the paper yet, so that's fun. We're just adding and adding and adding. Ideally, you should always wait for your layers to dry and then keep adding and adding. But what I'll probably do when this is done, I'm going to show you what I've drawn over the top of it, but you won't see me drawing in real time because this is going to take forever to dry. And at least you've seen I've cleaned my palette, and I will show you at the end what I drew when it is dry. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'm going to see you really soon on the next video. Take care. Bye.